Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nafiatun Arifah, English Education Students of Jenderal Sudirman University Purwokerto 2017. Today, I will do a side interpreting on a text entitled Wacana Skenario New Normal di Perguruan Tinggi. New Normal Scenario Discourse in College. The number of cases of coronavirus has not decreased. The World Health Organization reported that on Wednesday, there had been the largest increase in the number of daily cases, more than 100,000 cases worldwide, since the outbreak began in Wuhan at the end of December 2019. The economic impact resulting from this pandemic caused economic growth only 2.97% in the first quarter of 2020, even though the first case of COVID was only announced on March 2, 2020. Even though the number of cases has not decreased and ceased the long-stalled economic activity, the government finally echoes the new normal discourse scenario. This scenario focuses on changing the culture of the community to behave in a healthy life in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, or can be said to adapt to COVID-19. The government hopes that the new normal scenario can keep people productive amid the inevitable risks of corona outbreaks by implementing strict health protocols. Some sectors will be reopened, such as the educational sector, especially universities. Pessimistic scenario. Based on research conducted by the McKinsey Global Institute, the COVID-19 pandemic has an impact on several things, starting from the teaching and learning process, lecturers, to the financial condition of higher education. In the pessimistic scenario, online learning will be carried out until 2021. Most students will complete this semester's lectures online, and graduation will be done virtually or without formal ceremonial. Then a significant shift occurred in online learning, which is certainly a big challenge for universities. Appropriate online learning standards need to be developed by universities to be able to facilitate consumer needs, in this case, university students. In addition, lecturers who are not ready for learning are required to give more effort to be technology literate and to be creators of creative educational content. This certainly takes time, which has initially allocated for research in the context of increasing the scholarly productivity of higher education. In financial terms, as stated by the chairperson of the Indonesian Private Higher Education Association, Budi Jatmiko, especially private university or PTS are the most affected tertiary educational institutions because most PTS revenues come from students' funds. The late payment was due to the financial difficulties of most parents of students in the middle of the pandemic. Several steps. To answer the challenges in the midst of a pandemic and prepare a new normal college scenario, some steps that can be taken by universities include: 1. Form a task force team as a nerve center. The formation of a work team that focuses on the responsibilities of certain fields can help leaders of educational institutions to plan and manage responses to COVID-19. The work team's responsibilities cover 4 parts. First, do an analysis of campus condition in general and online learning in particular. Second, focus on what is urgent to do. It needs to be decided what needs to be done quickly to respond to consumers' needs. Third, focus on designing portfolio of actions for both short and long term, with the pragmatic operating model to clarify the plan and actions. Fourth, convey plans and respond to responses flexibly and efficiently. In order to increase the effectiveness of the formation of this work team, it is necessary to do tracing what the team is doing, when and by whom. Meetings between team members are carried out as intensively and efficiently as possible in order to respond to challenges in the field. Second, paying attention to the needs of students. Lecturers and financial security universities need to pay attention to the needs needed by students, such as optimizing of online-based education standards. Students need an interesting online learning experience, so universities need to provide educational content that is able to increase the interest and curiosity of the courses taken. In addition, lecturers need to be supported to be able to continue research, because scholarly productivity reflects to the performance of universities, which have a high weighting by 60% of all indicators in the ranking of world-class tertiary institutions, namely Times Higher Education and Quarterly Simmons rank. Besides research, lecturers need to be supported to be able to conduct effective online teaching, and even if it is possible, training is provided to become an educational content creator. Then finally, universities need to look at the financial condition of institutions in the midst of an online learning system. With the ongoing uncertainty in the midst of COVID outbreak, universities need to carry out various scenarios to maintain financial security. The scenario needs to look at the core competencies of the university. For example, by establishing paid online courses which the fees can be the university income, or it could be by establishing a consulting business that works closely with industry. Third, focus on the registration of new students and the teaching process of the next academic year. Seeing the time of registration of new students is getting closer, educational institutions need to do planning in the next school year by forming a common centers to manage students' activities, and specifically as an information center for students who have the potential to not register, such as international students and lower income students. The common centers is expected to be the front guard who give information needed by students. Besides to optimizing information centers, universities must have the ability to answer the challenges of how to provide significant changes to the current teaching model into teaching that is more flexible, measurable, low cost, and most importantly, interesting. Potential mapping. In order to be able to answer various challenges in this pandemic, university leaders need to map potential damage and find alternative solutions with various scenarios to solve the problem. Short-term and long-term planning is needed so that universities continue to show productivity in the midst of this epidemic and be able to accommodate consumers' needs. Thus, it is expected that universities will be able to provide an effective new normal scenarios to support the productivity of the education sector. That's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.